Good evening, YouTubers. New Time Travel Jaime 88 here. I'm back with another Star Trek VHS review. Alright, folks. Do you want some more Star Trek VHS review? Raise your hand and say aye. Aye. Yup. And that's why I'm going to do it tonight. This week, we're going to take a look at another Star Trek VHS review of the original series. Star Trek, The Doomsday Machine, episode 35. And this is a great, one of the best episodes in second season. Let's take a look. You had the still pictures of Spock, Sulu, and Mac Decker. Commodore Mac Decker. This episode originally broadcast on October 20th, 1967. It started 4202.9. It's episode 35. Still pictures. Okay, in this episode, the USS Enterprise just passing through the asteroid belt. However, they receive a distress call from another Constitution-class starship entitled the USS Constellation. It was a badly damaged starship and is crippled due to the menacing Doomsday planet killer like Cigar. So Kirk, McCoy, and Scotty and a damage control party beam aboard to the ship, and spot there on the engineering section lies Commodore Mac Decker, in shock of all of what happened to his crew. Kirk tells Mac, "What's happened? Answer me." And McCoy said, "Jim, he's shocked." Then Mac Decker tells Kirk that what happened to his crew, and he says on a third planet. And Kirk replied, "There is no third planet." Mac says, "Don't you think I know that? It's there, but it's no more." However, when Mr. Spock, back on the Enterprise, in command, suddenly they receive a distress call that the planet Doomsday, killing like machines, is on its course. So Dr. McCoy and Commodore Mac Decker beam back on the Enterprise and onto the bridge to find out what's happening out there. Then the light coming out of the Doomsday causing the Enterprise to be damaged, and the transporter is knocked out, and we lost Spock has contact communication with Captain Kirk, and the communication is damaged. Kirk and his crew must work to get the Constellation's engines back on. Meanwhile, back on the Enterprise, Commodore Mac Decker tells Mr. Spock that I am assuming command. And Mr. Spock says, "You cannot." And he said, "I am the by the book exercising command." Then McCoy says, "You can't just tell him what to do." And Mac Decker told him to get off the bridge. Then Commodore orders a fire to attack upon only Doomsday killer machine, zaps and permanently disabled temporarily. But the Enterprise had lost auxiliary power. Kirk tried to communicate with the Enterprise again and tell Kirk wants Mr. Spock, but Decker says, "I am assuming command." And he says, "Where's Mr. Spock? I told you I am command." Then Spock told Kirk that we have lost auxiliary power, and Kirk has no time to waste to tell Mr. Spock to relieve Commodore Decker immediately. So Mr. Spock relieved Commodore Mac Decker and told him, "You are relieved command. You have followed former charges. Commodore, I do not want to place you under arrest." So Commodore Mac Decker was going to sickbay. However, Commodore Mac punched one of the security officers, knocked unconscious, then goes into there. Meanwhile, Kirk got the engines on the Constellations ready to prepare for battle. Then Commodore Mac Decker stealing the Enterprise shuttlecraft and prepare for a sacrifice. Kirk told Spock that, why are you opening up the shuttlecraft? He said, whoever it is not authorized. Then he said, I'm going to take this alien monster down the throat. Sasson watching it as shuttlecraft goes inside to the planet killer and it disintegrated. The Captain Commodore Mac Decker is gone, lost in action. And Spock told him that condolences to his friend. However, meanwhile, Kirk has no choice to take the Constellation into the monster and tells Mr. Spock, I'm going to take it right down through his throat. And Captain says, Captain, you'll be killed. Just like Commodore Mac Decker. Scotty returns to the Enterprise and Kirk pushed the button. He had a few seconds to transport back, but the transporter still not functioning. Once the transporters malfunctioned, the U.S. began to operate again. The Constellation blows up and sending Kirk back onto the Enterprise. He raced down to the bridge and saw it happen. The Doomsday machine killer is destroyed. And Kirk tells Mr. Spock the reflections of what happened to Commodore Mac Decker. Kirk tells Mr. Sulu to resume course to heading our next destination. Now, what did I thought of the episode Star Trek the Original Series, The Doomsday Machine? The Doomsday Machine is a very great, it's got a kind of an action shoot 'em up episode. And with also is my brother's first and favorite Star Trek episodes yet. And how do I like it? Like the story. It's got all the drama. A lot of Commodore Mac Decker's line says, don't you think I know that? It's there ain't no more. He did a wonderful job. I give this story 10 out of 10. Great masterpiece of this episode. I love it. Let's take a look over here. And the Trek trivia says, let me zoom in focus real quick here. Although Commodore Mac Decker, William Wyndham, dies at the end of the episode, Stephen Collins later portrayed his son Will Decker in Star Trek The Motion Picture. I wonder if Matt and Willa Decker are related. If Maury Povich is still alive in the 23rd century, he can prove that he is the father of Willard Deckard. Or his son. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as fun as I did. If you like this episode or any other Star Trek reviews, like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys to rate, comment, and subscribe. Shout out goes to Harold F. Which Star Trek the original series or the Next Generation episode that you would like me to review next? Let me know in the comments down below. Until we meet again, New Time Travel Jaime 88 saying, live long and prosper.